Okay, we're going to get started here. Welcome to week 4. I am actually just coming off of a head cold, so I might sound a little different today. Hopefully I won't be sneezing as much because I'm just starting to feel better. It's just one of those things that happen during the season. But yeah, I'm a little bit nasally, so I apologize for that. But welcome to week 4. Hopefully you guys are all in a good position this week to get started with your final project. There are actually 2 final projects that we're going to be doing, the assignment and then the assessment we'll be going over today. Don't forget too that we also have the discussion for week 4 as well as the career integration quiz. And that's, as long as you're answering that with your complete honesty and being thorough in each of your answers to each question, it's an easy 15 points. So make sure you're providing some good reflective thoughts there for each question for that quiz. Okay, and it all adds up. So make sure you guys get if you have not submitted your week 3 work as of yet, make sure you get that in by this week, and so that we can go forward, and hopefully you guys will, be successful in this class. And I hope a lot of you guys are really starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with Photoshop and kind of doing some restoration on photos. And let me tell you, once you start getting into that and experimenting and getting better at it, and then you start telling people that you know how to do that, you'll have so many people asking you to do their photos. It's kind of crazy. I've had a lot of friends and family kind of, ask me to do their stuff, which is kind of cool. So if you have, if you have parents or family that have old pictures or pictures that they need restored, sometimes it's nice to give back and do that. But yeah. So just be careful who you tell that you know how to do that too. All right. If you have any questions, I've had a lot of you guys email me questions, which is great. So don't feel like you're bugging me at all. This is why I'm here. I'm here for you guys. I want you guys to succeed. If you succeed, then I feel like I succeeded. So if anything's kind of holding you up, and you can think it's a really stupid question. To me, it's not, as long as I'm giving you that answer so you can go on to the next step. That's why I'm here. And I want to help you to guide you through that. Okay, so no question is stupid or, whatever you think it is that you might be embarrassed to ask. I'm here for you guys. All right, so we're going to go over your final project overview. I'm going to do the demo for your assignment and assessment 4. And then if we have any questions or whatever, we can go over that. So before I get into all the details here, let's go into Canvas. Hopefully you guys are really taking advantage of all of the resources in here. Week 4, if you go and click into week 4, it kind of gives you a nice little synopsis of what we'll be going over this week, which is the final week, and the learning objectives, which is key because this is what you guys should be kind of accomplishing each week. And for this week, you're going to create a new document in Photoshop for the appropriate resolution needed for web and print project. Excuse me. Utilize 3 best practices for editing or resizing raster-based images. And you're going to discuss the 4 major principles and elements of design to critique a raster-based layout. You basically are going to create a compelling social issue campaign poster. And you can definitely check this link out, demonstrating everything you can do with your new Photoshop skills. So just a little heads up of what we'll be kind of doing this for this final week. Discussion, let's take a look at that, and then we'll go right into your demos for your projects. So this discussion is based upon the principles of design, and a lot of you guys hopefully have a good grasp on this, at least have heard of them. And this is something that will be kind of repeated over and over again in each class. Because it is kind of what we do. It's the principles of design. It is the foundation of what we do. So it's good to kind of have that solid foundation in order to approach a project correctly and give that design a purpose and a meaning and make it as effective as possible. So you can read through the career relevancy, the background, elements of design, repetition, all that CRAP. Read through that. It says, now that you understand the elements and principles of design, you will critique a design that utilizes these elements and principles effectively, and a design that utilizes these elements and principles ineffectively. So for your initial post, you're going to view these two designs below and evaluate them in terms of their use of contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. So you have A and B. Discuss how the 4 principles of design are used either properly or improperly in design A. Discuss how the 4 principles of design are used either properly or improperly in design B. Which design is more successful in utilizing the principles of design with the placement of elements? What is your reasoning for choosing one design over the other? And then research resources of constructive criticism techniques to apply to your feedback. So a lot of points to kind of hit upon here. Make sure that you're answering all of those. So for your citation, you must use articles that show examples of the rules of graphic design or tutorials that cover technical aspects of design in your feedback to other students. You can also find articles from experts that suggest what makes a design effective. Your initial and reply post should work to develop a group understanding of the topic. So you guys should build upon each other, be respectful, and discuss this to figure it out. Okay, so there's actually some examples down here that you can take a look at as well if you're kind of not sure how to go approach this. But so you're going to critique these two, and you're going to answer each of these bullet points, touch upon that. You can, I would like you, and it calls for you to bring in some supportive resources to support your perspective, and also when you respond to your fellow peers as well. So think about it. Take a look at both of these. It's kind of abstract in a way, but you can see a lot going on here. And go ahead, give your perspective. And I guess the best thing about this is it's based on facts, and that's why the principles of design are here. Because you would never critique somebody or a piece of work saying, well, I like this because it's the color purple. No, that's subjective. You need to go off of facts. You need to be objective. You need to say why it works, why you think it works, what works, why does it work, or maybe why it doesn't work. Why is it not working? So being objective is meaning that you're backing it up with facts. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. All right. Hopefully you guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Looks like some people got started here, but make sure you're getting that in as soon as possible so that you guys can get as much out of this discussion as you can. Excuse me. I'm going to be coughing every now and then, so I apologize. All right, so assessment 4 is actually assignment 4. This kind of changed the last time when I taught this class, so I apologize. I should have changed that. It is assignment 4 we're going to be looking at. So let's go ahead and take a look at it, read through it, and then we'll start the demo. So yeah, I'm sure you've seen social issue campaign posters out there. Some of them are really, really cool. Actually, let's do a social media awareness poster example. And you just do either Pinterest or Google image. You can see all kinds of different poster examples here too. Very imagery, you know, a lot of them are very simple and use larger images to either, you know, persuade someone to raise awareness, to be more aware of an issue, calling upon someone to maybe fund a certain organization or cause. So basically, there's different types of persuasive ways that you can do that. And a lot of it is done usually with a visual that's kind of pulling you in, you know, could be tugging at your heartstrings or whatever. Okay, so as a professional graphic designer, you will need to utilize Photoshop's design tools in order to create advertisements that are the appropriate format for both print and web. Understanding how to create each type of format is an essential part of working professionally. It enables designers to meet the needs of their clients, whether their clients need designs for print or for screen. So the background, when designing a campaign for a client, sometimes you will need to make your file appropriate for both print and web. Let's take a look at the requirements for each. So for the web, the standard resolution for web is 72 dots per inch. Web images should be made in RGB mode due to the mode being ideal for web and screen graphics. The final size of a web graphic should be under 500 kilobytes for faster loading. Keep in mind, even 500 kilobytes is large for a web graphic. If possible, try to keep the graphics down to 200 kilobytes in size. Photoshop has features that help you optimize your graphics for the web. The export menu under the File tab has features such as Save for Web that allow you to compress your graphics and reduce their final file size. So print, so that was web. Print is the standard resolution for print designs. The standard resolution for print designs is 300 dots per inch. It is the preferred image mode is CMYK. CMYK is necessary for print due to that mode being functioning best for ink. Many print clients request a PDF be sent as the final deliverable. Photoshop has a number of options available when saving a PDF. If you want a small file size that can be easily sent over the web, you'll want to select smallest file size and make sure preserve Photoshop editing capabilities is not checked. If you're saving something that is going to print, you may want to select high quality print from the drop-down menu. Okay, so the prompt for this assignment, you'll be creating a social issue poster similar to the types of advertising campaigns created by companies such as the Ad Council. Feel free to look online for sample social issue posters, and also feel free to look up posters created by the Ad Council for inspiration in the assignment. Some social issues topics you can choose can include bullying, obesity prevention, domestic violence, animal abuse, equality, energy conservation, climate change, autism awareness, diversity/inclusiveness. Okay, so let's look at the Ad Council. And I just kind of did a I think I spelled that wrong. There we go. So, go through these. There's a bullying one. Typography heavy. There's another one with using both type and imagery. Okay, it's kind of some cool things. So here's another drunk driving one. So go ahead and take a look at these. Be inspired by what you see. I would definitely choose something that's maybe closest to your heart. Maybe you know somebody that affected their lives or your life. Maybe you feel very passionate about something that you want to try to create a poster for. Doesn't mean necessarily that you went through it, but something that you've always kind of felt very passionate about. I think that is the way to go, because if you're interested in it, obviously you're excited about it. So you'll work harder at creating something. So definitely think about these topics, and some of them can include, you don't have to choose these. You could do something different, but as long as they're kind of bringing about a social issue topic, definitely use that. Create a document that is 17 inches. So this is the instructions. Create a document that is 17 inches tall and 11 inches wide at 300 dots per inch. Find 3 or more appropriate photo elements that can be composited together into your poster. You may choose them from the photos below. So you have all these different photos that you can take a look at. You can image link and download. Make sure all your photo elements are license free and high resolution, no copyright. Protected imagery or watermarked imagery. Do not use clip art, illustrations, or graphics. choose a slogan for your campaign from the list below. So you're going to choose from one of these. So what you might want to do is first, kind of pick what you kind of want to raise awareness about, choose your campaign slogan, and then maybe the image. Use the, so there's take a stand, lend a hand. So that may be more for like, bullying. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Well, that could be, many things. That could be the bullying aspect. That could be even the animal abuse aspect to it. A good planet is hard to find. That's more global awareness. Less pollution is the best solution. No place for racism. No compassion, no peace. No compassion, no peace. Being cruel isn't cool. And the silence stop the violence. Dignity, respect, and justice for all. I know you get a drink here, guys. Normalize equality and hope, not hate. So you're going to use the principles of contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity when designing your poster and utilizing the slogan. You may create a fictional website URL to include at the bottom of your poster. You're going to export a full-size PDF, and then you're going to export a JPEG that is optimized for the web and resized to 72 dots per inch and 500 pixels on its shortest side. Okay. And there's some examples down here. Let's click those to see. Okay, I'm going to show this. I'm going to actually mute my mic because I'm going to clear my nose for a second here so I'm not sounding too nasally. Okay, sorry guys. So you can see this poster was done in terms of bekind.org. They kind of created that website. That was something that they created. Be kind to animals is the slogan, and then they did a little composite of the heart with the animals, with the texture in the background, and kind of all the things that you've learned so far, masking, and also the vignettes. That's a good example to show you. That would be kind of to get an A on this task. Let's see here. Okay, this one is be the change you want to see in the world. And basically is using 2 compositive images, actually 3 of the dog, and creating this nice poster of this guy. He's kind of looking up at the world, and the world maybe like half red and looks hot, and then the other half looks healthy. So, kind of something to think about in terms of, are we doing the right thing globally to respect our environment? It's kind of a nice visual there. Okay. So think about that. I would definitely research what's out there, see kind of what inspires you. And then you can kind of figure out, okay, this is the slogan I want, and then this is kind of the changes that I want for the image. Okay, so I'm going to do some of these images. I'm like not sure what the heck's going on here. Okay, let's see. Okay. Like, what is this image? Let's see what this image is here. Kind of hard to see how. I think it's just a textured image. Yeah, okay. I'm going to export this. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm just going to export that to my desktop so I have it since I have it open. Okay, so I'm going to look through here. Let's see. I'm going to do maybe the doggy one. It's going to be cute one. Do like an animal type thing here. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just exporting this onto my desktop here. Maybe being cool isn't cool would be my slogan. Okay, so let me open up Photoshop here. And the first thing you should do is go ahead and look at the specs given. So the specs given are, it should be 17 inches tall and 11 inches wide. So go File, New. So 17 by 11. At 300 dots per inch for RGB. Okay, so 11 by 17, make sure you're in inches, 300 pixels per inch. Click OK. So this is the document that you're going to go off of. So File, Save As. Try to name it. You know, this 104, assignment 4, first and last name. Okay, and then at this point, now you can open up the images that you want to play around with. So I'm going to open up that dog image. Now this is going to be a very simple poster. You could do more than what I'm going to show you here, obviously. You saw the other examples that I showed you. So I'm going to go File, Open. And it's giving me the spinny wheel death here. Hold on one second. Not sure what's going on here. There we go. Okay. So old dog, open that up. Okay, so there's several images in here that I can cut away from if I wanted to use one. So I'm trying to think of the slogan. I'm going to go back to my original. I'm going to go File. Actually, I'm going to take that paint bucket tool here. Where is it? I'm going to fill this with white. Then I'm going to take my type tool and I'm going to paste in the slogan. Being cool isn't cool. Well, maybe the sad one would be the best one for this. Let's see. And I'm going to take my magic wand selection tool, see if that's, yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm thinking about just taking this one here. It's very sad looking. Oops, that's probably not good. Let me zoom in on him. I have to do just like a, oh, he looks so sad. I think for this one, I'm going to do the polygonal lasso tool, but I'm going to do it so tight, or not tight. It's going to be kind of loose around him just because I know I'm going to use white for my background and I want to keep the whole drop shadow that's provided here. Okay, now I'm going to drag and drop him over here. Maybe. There we go. Oh, he looks so sad. Pulling at the heartstrings here. Let me scale him down a little bit. So scale down. And what I did that a little fast, so I'm going to show you here. So if you need a scale, you just go up to Edit, Transform, and Scale. Hold the Shift key, that's important, and pull in a bounding box. That Shift key will keep it proportionate. And click Apply. Another thing I want to do is rotate it. So go Edit, Transform, Rotate, and this will kind of rotate it so it's a little bit more in the perspective of how you're looking at the poster. If you need more lines to kind of figure out if that looks pretty good, you can pull down a margin guide just to see. I think that looks pretty good. And see how I didn't really have to worry about cutting him out so tightly because I'm using white in the background. And then it's up to you. The headline obviously needs to be the biggest. Let's see what other specs are given here. Oh, and then like a call out. Call out is really important on something like this because it's basically giving you a call to action so that you can go and, you know, raise more awareness, give to the cause, read more into it. So, so maybe something like, powerforpets.org. Something that you can make up that sounds pretty good. And then change the typeface to be appropriate for your poster here. Million one. And the call out should be smaller than the headline. So let me go to this character here. I'm going to change the point size from 72 to maybe, it depends on the typeface, but just try different typefaces that you believe would work. Actually, this American headline is actually a pretty good one there. Let's see here. I don't know why my. Hi, Teresa. Just starting on your assignment 4. And I'm making the headline a little bit bigger here. Oh, for pets, I'm going to change so that's the same typewriter font. That's okay. Do maybe a condensed bold for that. Excuse me. So it's completely up to you. That's okay. In terms of how you want to lay this out, just make sure it works. I'm doing the power of like the roll of thirds here, not the power of thirds. So 1/3 of the document is split up so that it just creates a more interesting layout so that the eye isn't, it's not boring to look at. I have the call out on the top, very simple, readable. It's smaller in type, point size than the headline. I have the slogan here. It's larger, it's readable. And then I have this cute little adorable puppy image here that I pulled in to pull the eye of a person, to pull them in and, kind of maybe want to do something about it. What's going on with this guy? Why is he so sad looking? I mean, you can do anything you want to this. You can even change his color. Maybe it goes black and white. If you think that that's more of a dramatic type of a feel to that, and that would lend well to the overall look of that. So let's go to new adjustment layer, new saturation, or you can do the black and white as well. I'm going to go to this one. I'm just going to pull down the saturation. You can even, so it kind of gives a different look to it when you do something like that. So think about how, and that's very simple though. So think about how you can do it so that it makes it more dramatic for yours. And it doesn't have to be crazy, something crazy, but you saw in the examples that I showed earlier that, you can definitely do a lot of image manipulation and compositing. This is a very simple approach. I'm going to open up that texture that I had that was given to you guys in the actual assignment 2, just to put it in the background. There we go. Just like all, copy. I don't know if this is actually going to look good in here, but we'll try it and I pasted it. We'll go to Edit Transform. We're going to rotate about 180. And we're just going to, oh, not 180. My bad. Sorry, guys. 90. I'm going to make it bigger, so I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Scale. And then I'm going to drag that layer, to the very bottom in front of the white. Now this is where it gets a little weird because I have to cut him out a little bit better now, but before it worked because I wasn't worried about that. But now you can definitely dial down the opacity of the texture and I can fix that. Make it look so easy. Fix that white going around him. Obviously, if I'm going to put texture or something back there, I'm going to want to do that. So, well, I think it's I know I've been doing it for so long. And that's when I can actually go in here and just take out the white. I have a little delay here, so I'm not sure what's going on with my computer. It seems like it's working way too hard. Sounds like it is. It's running for sure. So I'm just taking the magnetic lasso tool and I'm just clicking around. Excuse me. I'm just starting to get off of a cold, so you'll hear me coughing here. You can put your own drop shadow on this, so I'm not too worried about sticking to that. So I would say, you know, you could definitely add that in. I would probably keep the ear shadows, but just get rid of like most of the, oh, there we go, other stuff here. I keep pushing the wrong button here, guys. I'm foggy headed. Ah, really? I'll show you a trick here once I get this selected all the way around. This is where it gets tricky because it gets too close to like the white area. Oh, it seems like it's good. All right, and end it. Okay, so now I have a selection. I have the marching ants. And if I kind of want to see it and you know, revise my selection anyway, that's where you can go down below your foreground and your background and choose the edit and mask mode. And you can go in, like I showed you the last lecture, and take away or add into your selection based on what you know, how well you did that, your trace. So if you're good with it, because I kind of selected around the dog, now I want to go up and choose, where am I here? Select inverse, because I don't want to select the dog. If I selected the dog and hit delete, watch what happens. Oh, select the dog. There we go. That's what happens. I don't want that to happen. So I have to go up to select and choose inverse. And what that's going to do is choose everything but the dog that's outside of that line. Then I hit delete on my keyboard. And watch what happens. That white goes away. So now I can add my own drop shadow if I want to. That's a layer, layer style, drop shadow. Make sure that that preview is selected. And then go ahead and play around with this. Kind of hard because I have so many screens up here. Usually it's good to do a very subtle approach to this rather than real big drop shadows. I guess dark. And then don't forget, you also have a blend mode. So up here, you know, you can kind of play around with these. I'm going to choose the background layer and look kind of how it affects that background based on what I choose. There's screen, has screens through it, although you can't see it real good. The opacity, I'll pull up the opacity so you can see it. Overlay. It's hard to see that too. Let's do, if I can really show here. Let's do normal. And darken, multiply. So don't forget you have those blending modes available too. That kind of just play around with it, see what it does. I just kind of wanted to add some texture to it. Oops. All right, so very, very simple. This is a very, very simple type of approach. And it can be that simple. Let me go file save. Remember what we talked about before. This is right now ready for high res print ready. It's ready to be sent to print. The only thing that I need to do is change the color mode. And I'm sorry, my phone's ringing. I apologize. I should have had that off. So the color mode can be changed in your image mode. CMYK. Right now it's RGB. So if you were going to send this to print, you would just change this to CMYK right when you're ready to go to print, okay? Because you guys need to also send this as a web, low-res web image as stated in the specs. Let me see, let me go back. Export, so you're going to export a full-size PDF, so I'll show you how to do that when you're done. And then you're going to export a JPEG that is optimized for the web and resized to 72 dots per inch and 500 pixels on its shortest side. Okay, so let's do the PDF first. So we're going to go up to File. And you can just go to File, Save As. And in the drop-down menu where it says Format, you want to choose Photoshop PDF. Okay. You could probably uncheck layers too. You need layers in your PDF. Click OK, save. So that'll be one that you'll submit. I would choose, go up to see where it says Adobe PDF presets. There's different types of presets based on how you're going to show this. If you're going to send it to the printer, you want to do the press quality or the high quality. Usually press quality is the best. When you go to press quality, if you go down to compression, you can see how everything is compressed output-wise for print purposes. But because we're going to be you're going to be uploading this just for me to view, go to the smallest file size. See how it kind of lowers in the pixels per inch. Save as a JPEG. Or what did I just do? Save as PDF. Okay, so that is the PDF. The next thing that you want to do is export a JPEG that is optimized for the web, resize to 72 dots per inch and 500 pixels on the shortest side. Okay, so you're going to go File, and you're going to go Export, and you're going to go to Save for Web. Welcome, Angela. And another box will come up here, which will show you all these really neat little options here. Let me make this smaller so I can actually see it. I can't. Can you guys see that? This is Save for the Web. Make sure you guys can see it. I have to stop sharing and share this. I don't know if I can. Okay, either way. When the Save for Web optimization box pops up, you want to convert it so that you're going to save it as JPEG. So you're going to choose JPEG where it says presets. Right now it says GIF. Image size at the very bottom, 3300 is for the width and 5100 is for the height. So we want to make sure, based on the specs, that 72 dots per inch and 500 pixels on its shortest side. So the shortest side, which is the width here, should be 500. We're going to change that to 500. Quality should be 72 dots per inch. Now we're going to hit Save. And that should be a JPEG. Okay. So let me go ahead and open those. You probably won't be able to tell. This is the JPEG that I did. But when I open it, it's going to open it up in preview, so it looks like that. And then the PDF is going to be a little bigger because it's high res. PDF looks pretty similar, only it opens up in Adobe Acrobat. Okay, so that's the two ways that you need to export it out when you're ready to save it. Any questions about that? I know, Angela, you just came in here, so you can listen to what you what you kind of didn't come in on, and see if you have any questions. But okay, I think you guys will have fun with this. I think this is a fun project to do for sure. I think you just have to pinpoint what you want to say, like the campaign poster that you want to go with, and go from there. Here, and I would research awareness campaign posters. Here's some that I have just kind of pulled together here, so you guys can take a look at it, but definitely research it on your own as well. So let's take a look here. And these are obviously different sizes and different images that you guys are going to be working with, but just to kind of give you an idea, some inspiration. Here's one on mentalillnessfoundation.org, teens and depression, break the silence. So, I mean, obviously this image is not real. It is composited. You have the woman with the lips and then the lock. So yeah, that's a good one. Break the silence. This one is composited as well. So it's the swimming pool underneath. Don't let this be our future. And they're kind of showing you a different perspective of, okay, well, what if this was a city down here and this was an actual, we were all flooded, and kind of giving you a different perspective in that regards. Will we all be underwater? Here's the recycle. Recycling a single can saves enough energy to power television for 3 hours. Water world, there you go, yeah. Here's one for breast cancer awareness. We're stronger together. And it's showing you all of these ribbons that are kind of pulled together into one. I don't know if this would be composited or actually a real picture. But photograph. The next one won't be biblical. Global Day of Action, People's Climate March. That's a good question. Angela said, do we have to use the images from the prompt? The prompt says, find 3 or more appropriate photo elements can be composited together into your poster. You may choose them from the photos available below. I would say, as long as they're not copyrighted and they're high res so that you can work with it and they're not pixelated, I would say go for choosing your own. I would stick with maybe the slogans that they have there. You could probably change the slogan too, as long as it makes sense. I would be flexible with that. So you're not kind of limited, yeah. Because you might have something totally different in mind that you want to raise awareness about that's not even touched upon in there. Okay, this one is for, obviously, okay, autism, there you go, yeah. So I don't want, obviously if that's something you're passionate about, I would like you to go forward with that. So, because I know when you're passionate about something, you always tend to work harder at it. So, okay, there you go. You can do something about that for sure. Yeah, so I would definitely, like I said earlier, you guys kind of missed it. If you have experienced something, or your family or friends, or maybe just so passionate about it, definitely go with that. Go with that issue, the whole social issue there. Yeah. You are here. These are more of a illustration type graphic here. Actually, they're using the world with the frack. This was kind of cute. Kind of a neat approach. I shouldn't say cute. Different type of a look. We problem, we solution. So there's different, I would definitely research what's out there. See, if you pick a topic, especially like if you're going to do autism, go through and look out what's out there, what works, what doesn't work. Look at what's been done so that you can maybe try a different technique, so that you're not doing the same cliche type of awareness poster. Plus, it's fun to look at what's out there just to see, I think. I think it's kind of cool to think of something that's different than what's out there. All right. So basically what you're doing is creating this social awareness poster for a cause, and you're compositing your images together to make it look very compelling and persuasive. And so you're going to be using a lot of what you've learned so far into this poster. Teresa, you said, can we incorporate Christian belief into it? Yeah, I mean, I think you can, just as long as you're not, shaming anyone, I guess, if it's done respectfully, which it seems like you would, and I wouldn't think that you wouldn't, but if that's something that you want to kind of, have it kind of lean towards, I'm fine with that. Okay. Oh, okay. I think I remember. I had so many students, but I do remember some students doing something like that. All right. Any other questions about that assignment? That's your assignment 4. Just play around with it, experiment, see what kind of cool things that you can come up with. Like I said, there's examples in there to look at in the actual assignment, so you can kind of see what other students have done. This class has changed since I last taught it a couple years ago, so I can't show you any examples that I have from past classes, but I think it's pretty straightforward with what you guys need to do, and hopefully you guys will be inspired and go with it. Did you have anything that you needed me to go over in regards to some of the techniques that are done? Let me go back to here. Any questions, selection techniques, or oh, okay, I don't remember that one, Teresa. Okay, so like photo montages, you mean, Angela? There's different ways that you can do photo montages, blending of pictures together. Let me go back and grab some pictures here so I can show you maybe some examples here. Okay, let's see. All right, let me download these 2 images so that I can have something to work with when I show you this example. This is one way you can blend images together. There's a couple different techniques that you can try, but this is one way. Yeah, I know exactly what you meant. I was kind of thinking that's what you were thinking. And I'll show you that in a second here. Okay, let's put this out. There we go. Okay, let's go back into Photoshop. Just real quick. Let's just hide these. I'm gonna go File, Place. Actually, let's see, I'll just do File, Open. I'm gonna open up the 2 that are provided in your assignment. There's 2 backgrounds. One's like a plant. The other one's more like earth, dry earth here. Okay, so I'm going to do a select all, copy. So I do Command A or go up to edit. I'm sorry, not edit, select all. select all. Because it's a full square. Go back to my canvas, and I could do a Command V, which is a file place or paste. And paste that in there. Same thing with the other one. Let's get rid of this layer here, or this tab. Select all, copy, and I'm just gonna, oops, wrong tab, paste it in here. Okay. Okay, now I think I'm good. Okay, so I have this image over top of this image. If I wanted to blend that so that half of this image is showing and the other half isn't, you would select that image. So I'm going to select the top image. And then what we're going to do is we're going to choose the gradient tool. So that is actually the paint bucket tool is kind of where it's under. If you see the paint bucket tool, gradient is there. And we're going to choose the preset up here on the gradient. So on the very top, when you select that tool, you can choose the foreground to transparent. And when you choose that, you can hold down the shift key depending on which direction that you go. Click and drag. Actually, this is not what you should do. I think I'm showing you the wrong one here. Hold on. Showing you the actual gradient. We want you guys to have something else here. Give me 1 minute. There should be okay, probably a mask mode is what you do. There's a different way to do it. That's why I'm getting a little confused here in another program. There is another gradient tool. I think it's an Illustrator that you use. But try throwing a mask on the first layer here. Yeah, hold on a second. I have to swap these around here. Okay. So what you need to do on that first top layer, just throw a mask on it. The mask is here. You'll need to have the background color, the foreground color set to black. Then you take the gradient tool, which you already set kind of the black to transparent. And now you can click and slide to the right or to the left, depending on how you want to do it. Once you kind of set a pattern though, you might need to do like a step back. So bring your history panel up. So this is like all my way here. Hold on. So let's say you want to do the other direction. Okay, something just let me just throw this out real quick. I think it went over top. Of course. Sheesh, I think it's the full moon playing with my head here. Let's just delete it. There we go. That's what I was doing wrong. I can do a click, drag to the left. So I clicked and shift, drag to the left, and that kind of blends it that way too. It depends on how long of a blend that you want. If you do a real short line, it's going to give you less of a blend, but you can do a real long blend and it kind of fades out kind of in a more subtle fashion. Did you guys see that, or did I lose you guys here? Hold on. I think I lost you guys here. Gradient map, yes. All right, let me do that again because I think I lost you guys. I think I hit a button. So you have your two images here. There's the top one, there's the bottom one. Throw a gradient mask on it, or an add layer mask. Yeah, I wasn't showing you, that's why. Gradient tool is what you would select. When you choose that gradient tool, choose the black to transparent. take your tool over to your picture and just click and drag over, depending on the direction that you go. We'll fade it out and show what's underneath. So that's your mask, and that's how you montage two images together. You can go the other way too. And like I said, and I wasn't showing it before, if you go the shorter the line, the more of a harsh break that you'll have. The longer of a line that you do, the more subtle the gradient will be. Yeah, the lines up here don't match. I mean, obviously, you can crop that out. You're talking about up here. Those can be cropped out. I'm just talking about how you can blend those together. So you're blending two images together. Yeah, I actually didn't use the cropping tool. I just used the marquee tool and I just deleted what it was. But I'm just showing you so that, I mean, that's not really that important. I'm just showing you how to blend those together. That makes sense. Let me show you another one just to make sure that let me download this one picture here. Do something different. Give me 1 second here. Download that, and then I want to download that Earth picture. Okay. I'm going to place embedded into this file, and I'm just going to place this picture that I just downloaded from the actual instructions here. I'll make her a little bit bigger. So hold down that shift key. Place. I'm going to go file open. Open this world image here. Tolerance, if I do a lower tolerance, the less it will grab in terms of the inside of the globe details. It'll be more picky. Do select all, copy. And then a paste. I just cut that out, so that's why it looks like that. So let's say you wanted to kind of mask this so that you can see her head. Let me rasterize this image here first. Okay. So what we could do, let's dial down the opacity so you can see her face right there. Okay. So you could do blending modes too, but because the blending modes are a little harder to do when you have something so organic like this and that you wanted to trace around her head, I would definitely just choose to trace around her head first. Make that selection so that you have that outline, unless you want to make it look like a world over her head, which is kind of cool. But I thought, oh, it'd be kind of cool to do like her face kind of has that world, look to it, like the gradient texture of the world, I should say. My mind's a little foggy today from my cold, so I apologize. I'm kind of saying things and it's making sense as I'm saying it, but that maybe out loud it doesn't quite make sense. That happens when you have a cold. All right, so I have just her face selected. So what I could do is I could throw a layer mask on here. So just throw a layer mask. Actually, I should throw it up on the Earth. There we go. So I just selected the earth, threw a layer mask, and you can see, boom, this is the mask that I created over top. And I can change the opacity. I can change the blending mode. So I can do like an overlay. So it kind of, kind of meshes in with the photograph. Your screen, multiply. These all have different effects. You can play around with it and see what you like. And you don't have to go with 100%. You can go with just a little percentage of it, if it's too much. And let's say you wanted to blend the chin, and what we just did, and I showed you how to blend, to do that blend. So let's select her, as far as her image is concerned, and choose a mask tool. Go to the gradient tool here again. Go up here where your gradient tool has a transparent background. Oops. And then click up where her lip is and go, oh, not down here. Sorry. I guess that would be, hold on 1 second. Yeah, not there. I need a mask here. This might have to be an actual layer mask. Let me delete this here real quick. Let me do a selection again. I might actually have to make the selection of her face first before I do that. So let me hide this. And let me quickly do, real quick here. I thought I could do it the other way, but I guess I can't here. There we go. I'm going to do a mask. Yeah, we don't want that. I want a layer mask, but I don't want this to go out. So let me do a copy of this. Okay. It's doing it, but it's not showing because I have this top layer up here, which is kind of not helping me here. Let's go 100%. If this were over top, there we go. So you have to make sure your layers are in order. See, I was all screwed up. So what I would do is basically create this. Just do a duplicate of her. And I pulled her above the mask that I created so that I can see the changes of the gradient that I just did too. I know it's a little confusing for you guys how I did that. And let me just delete this here. So basically all I did was copy her, just made a duplicate, pulled her above the mask that we have. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm going a little bit more complicated than what you guys need to do. So, oops. So now you don't even need the selection. You just need the gradient tool once you put a mask on there. And I think that's kind of cool. So you can kind of, do a really cool little gradient there. Just as long as it's over top of the one that you just did. If you didn't have this layer, then this will go away. Okay, Angela, thank you. But it's kind of neat. You can kind of do some really neat things with that. So it's kind of like you're gradiated out in certain parts of the image into the original image. So you're creating, this is the original. You did brought the world in and did a selection of the face. and mask that out. I duplicated the actual original again, pulled it above the mask, and did a little gradient over top. So something to play around with for sure. And actually it wasn't as difficult. There's only 3 layers here. It's just kind of knowing how to do the steps. So, all right. I am going to actually take a quick break here. I'm going to do a 5-minute break and, you know, do the whole like get water because I'm going to cough here since I'm sick. Teresa, we can talk here when I come back if you want to before we go into the assessment part. So give me 5 minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, can you hear me? Sorry about that. I had a little sneezing fit there I had to get past. All right, Teresa, did you want to talk to me about what's going on now? It's up to you. You're on record, just so you know.
Hi.
Hi. What's
Well,
going on?
as I've been keeping you informed, I've had a lot of setbacks.
Yeah.
Kind of lucky to actually be online right now. My husband found an app on the phone that we can connect to the internet for a little while.
That's good.
But I'm having problems with the actual working with the Photoshop. I can't. I don't know how to do a vignette for assignment 2.
Okay.
That's why it didn't get turned in correctly, because I didn't do it. I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Okay. Did you review the lecture? Because I actually did a step-by-step demo.
Yeah, I was in the process of doing that too.
Okay.
But the
It's
video
actually
is kind of hard to watch.
it's pretty easy, and I actually, in announcements, let me show you real quick here. I posted how to do a vignette 2 in here. So
Yeah, I saw that one.
if you go here, yeah, you can see that not only did I go over it step by step, but I also showed you another way to do it here with that resource. So,
Okay.
and it's only this step, so it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I just read
There's
that a little bit ago before class started, and I was
That's
gonna
okay.
try and
Yeah.
work on it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty easy. If you get caught up on it, let me know. There's so many different ways that you can do it. Let me show you real quick here. With this image, I can do one real quick.
I could do a vignette on my my cell phone app really well.
Right,
Real quick.
it does it for you, right? So there's different ways that you can do it. You can create a new layer and just pull it all the way to the top here. Take your paint bucket tool, which is under your gradient. There we go. Fill it with the dark color, black, whatever you want to do it. There's different ways you can do this. So you can either, you can take, and I didn't show this in the lecture, but you can take the, where's the eraser tool? Eraser tool, make sure it has a real like feathered edge to it, and make your brush really large. So I'm just enlarging that. And you can just go ahead and click.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. So that's the easy way to do it. And then you can say if you don't want it to be that dark on the edge, then just go to your layer, pull the opacity down just a little bit. There you go.
Nice. Okay, I'll have that one in pretty quick. And as far as the points, will I be getting any points for it? Because I noticed that the assignment and the assessment didn't get graded. It's really late.
And the assessment, I should have graded it. Did you notice any notes that I gave to you? Let me go in and real quick and see if I have any notes, because that would be the only reason why I didn't grade it. The discussions you obviously can't make up, but
yeah,
let me go look and see if I have any comments to you.
I think for the assessment for this one, it was I forgot to do I didn't do the vignette, and I didn't send
Yeah, so just do that, resubmit it, and I'll give you full points. If you succeed, I'll revise your points.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't fail this.
And then same thing with the assignment. Like if you have anything that you need to revise and I didn't give you points for, I'm giving you that extra chance to submit it.
Okay. Well, I did submit the assignment, I think it was, for the assignment A and B.
Okay.
But I did one of them on the app on my phone before I was able to hook up to the internet. But it was the Photoshop app.
Okay. Yeah, because you still have, if you can get your week 2 in by before the end of this class, I would be willing to, be flexible to give you points for those without being late with everything that's been going on.
It's been crazy. I just one
You
thing.
still owe assignment 2 and assessment 2.
Yeah.
So I would work on those, get those done too.
Okay. And I don't know, because you're the last time I was in your class, I did this kind of same project.
Mm-hmm.
And can I use that again?
Well, I would
Or maybe
definitely go
revise
through
it
the
a little
process
bit?
steps differently I wouldn't say reuse the same project, because there's a reason why you go through it again, because you need to learn to do the steps properly. So you can do the same like concept if you want, just do it from scratch.
Okay.
That makes
Well, I
sense.
have to anyway because I don't have the PSD file for it.
Oh, okay. So you'll have to anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just focus on getting those week 3 and week 2 assignments in before the end of this class, and I would be willing to just forgo the late penalty for you because of all issues that you've had, and that will definitely help.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm on Percocet right now, so my hand doesn't hurt.
Oh, that's a good thing.
I was supposed to have surgery on it.
No. Yeah, that's not fun. All right. So does that sound good though, Teresa?
Yeah, I do what I can right now.
All right, awesome. Let me know if you have any questions or if something happens and you're like, I don't know how to do this. Let me know.
I will right away.
Okay.
Did I have any questions for the week 3, babe? Wasn't I having problems with one of them?
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was.
Um.
Sorry, I got so much going on over here.
Oh, yes. The other question I had, can I share my screen?
Yes.
Let's see if I remember how to do that. Share screen. And that one. Share screen. That one I had a big problem with.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I messed up her nose on the last one, and I deleted it. I got frustrated and just deleted the whole thing. And then I got to this point. It was up here where the trees are, and I didn't know how to fix that.
Yeah. You can use the content aware patch tool that I showed in the lecture for that. And that is, yeah. You'll have to go to the original image though, like without you having it messed with that part. So
okay.
whatever you did on the top layers, you'll need to get rid of to redo it. So your copy above that, you'll need to delete, get rid of that. And whatever you did above there. Okay, so what I show is just tracing around that white area there with that patch tool as if you're drawing around it. Yep. And you don't have to be super close to the edge, just kind of allow it to have a little room outside the edge. It's not like you're tracing it like exact. Good. Go all the way around. And then put your cursor in the middle of that image and click and drag it to the left and to the right.
What the?
So keep
That's
dragging
cool.
it. Yeah, I would drag it to the left. Just keep dragging it to the left till you find an area where you think it looks like it's blending well. Obviously you want it to look like it's natural and
Not the kid's head.
so I probably just kind of go up and down with it just to see if you can get some trees in there. I forget exactly what I did, but it was kind of similar to, you can let go and keep dragging. It's like let go and go back in. Yeah.
Okay, now I get it.
And get it to, that's just something to play around with. Yeah. So
I kind of want to finish the other side of the tree and make it look like it's real.
yeah, and you could definitely do different things. I don't think there's a side of that tree though. I think it's just the bushes that are showing.
Yeah, I think so.
You can review my lecture because I showed you exactly just that, but I moved it around where it made sense. So you can see
Okay.
kind of how I did it. But yeah.
It's because I wasn't able to watch the videos.
Yeah, that definitely helps. And then just getting your, just the blemishes on the picture using your spot healing brush tool, and then also your layer adjustments to adjust the color balance. There's
Oh,
still,
how do I do that? Because
so you would go to your original layer. So I would undo that so you're not, yeah. And go up to your layer adjustments. Yeah, and then go to color balance. Click OK. Okay, and then I would pull the yellow and blue slider. I would pull that to the right just a little bit. And you're just adjusting the midtones right now. Then see your magenta and green. Yeah, you
ooh, purple tree.
can. You know what? You're on that layer, so we need to get off of that. It's just affecting your patch layer.
My bad.
Ooh, shiny.
No, it was purple. The purple tree. That was awful.
See how you're on
Okay.
the mask? Yeah. You want to.
Oops. I need to be here.
Well, no, you need to be below that because that one's not showing. Yeah. Go down.
Oh, there it is.
That one, yeah. And go to layer adjustment.
Layer adjustment. Color balance.
And I think it's behind your layer. So move your layer box out of the way there. The preset. So just move that tab over to the left. So see where it says layers?
Layer. Oh, no.
On the top where the tab is, it says layers. Layers, your palette.
Oh, is it? It's in the way. Hold on.
Yeah, it's behind. So you need to show what's behind that palette. Okay, see where it says layers on the very top tab of that palette? Pull that and drag it to the left. There you go. You need to see what's underneath that. There's your presets underneath that.
It was hiding.
Okay, now go see where it says tone. You're going to change that to highlights in the properties panel.
Wait, this will help. Go away. There we go. See, I gotta set this up to work.
You're good. See where it says tone? It says midtones. Check that and choose highlights. Okay, now dial down the red. So where it says cyan and red, take that to the left a little bit. Keep going, keep going. See how the red's coming out?
Got it.
Okay, now you want to look at the highlights. Okay, now you want to take out some magenta. So go where it says magenta and green and pull up the green a little bit. So go to the right just a little bit. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See how it's kind of evening it out a little bit?
Hey, the grass looks real.
And I go where it says yellow and blue, and I would go to the left with the yellow just a little bit. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that too much. So that you're adjusting the highlights of that image. So you can do the same thing to the neutrals and to the shadows of it.
Okay.
Okay.
That looks really good.
And then I would zoom in and get rid of all those blemishes, that with the spot healing brush tool. You zoom in real close to his head and get in there and make sure you're on the layer, the original layer, before you do that. Yeah. You can make the brush a little smaller if you want. There you go.
And which right here, which should I pick?
You want content aware and mode color. That's good. That'll just it'll kind of keep the pixel information around it, be aware of that, so it's not changing anything. Your original, click on that. Okay, hit D on your keyboard. Okay, now try it again. You just set your foreground and background.
Oh, that's right.
Something isn't happening here. Can you pull your layers palette down so I can see what's above? I think something's covering it. No, go down. It must be your masks going on there. Can you hide those masks real quick?
The masks?
Yeah, those two adjustment layers, I should say. Okay, now try it. Yeah, there you go. So you want to do that first before you do any color stuff to it. And I showed that in the lecture that you should do that first before you do the color adjustments. Okay?
I got that.
Awesome. I'm going to kind of steal the show here real quick so we can get over the rest of the stuff. But are you in a good spot now?
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, if you can watch the lectures, it will definitely help you.
All right.
I know you're kind of in a bind.
Yeah, it's just like I'm starting a little bit here and a little bit there and going back to this and then getting confused. And
yeah, definitely doesn't help.
Make sure.
All right, let me go over the assessment here. I'm going to mute you for a sec. I'm going to go over the assessment 4 just real quick. It's basically really easy. What you're going to be doing is just using what you've learned so far and applying different techniques, resizing, adjusting, and blending, using the different blending modes to this specific image here that's given to you in the prompt. So you're going to download this image. So go ahead and download the image provided, and that's what you're going to use. It's a JPEG. Let me save this on my desktop here. I think I saved it. Let me get rid of all my tabs here. It looks like it didn't save. So hold on one second. Okay. Okay, then you're going to download these textures. So go ahead and download 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what you're going to do is you're going to place each texture over each of the tree squares. Change the blending modes to the appropriate settings for each texture. Place a hue saturation adjustment layer over the whole document and use the color of your choice. So I'm going to show you real quick here. This is texture 3. I should have had these all downloaded. I apologize. Export 1, 1, 3. We need to. And then 4. All right, so now I'm going to open up Photoshop. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. I just downloaded all of the images and a texture that I need. I'm going to go File, Open, and I'm going to choose that image, just that one tree image that duplicates, actually 4 trees. I'm going to unlock the layer. Okay, and then now the textures that I want to open, I was just reading your chat there, I missed it. Don't forget you can do like Google Drive and what else do I have here? Google Drive, and I have Dropbox that you can do external saving of your work, and it's awesome. And like you could put a lot of stuff on there. Yeah, Google Drive is good. You should try that too. It's free and just like Dropbox, but there's a lot of memory on there. All right, so this is, what am I doing here? Let's open up the one texture. No, it's not. Well, let's place embedded. We'll place embedded. Let's do texture one. All right, so where is this at here? This is giving me a little problem. Place. Something weird's happening here. Maybe don't save this here. Something strange is happening. Let me open this up again. Let me quit out of Photoshop real quick. Having problems. Sometimes you just have to restart. Even we do. All right, let's try this again. Yeah, exactly. Oops, I don't want to do new. Go File, Open. I think I was doing just too many things at once. File, Place, Embedded. So I'm just placing that first texture that I downloaded, which is provided in the assessment. Okay, so now it's working. See, sometimes when it doesn't work out, you just have to restart. Okay, it's bigger than the square. So we want to hold down the Shift key and then pull the bounding box in to modify it so that it's going to go over that square perfectly, okay? And you can zoom in and get as close as you want, but go ahead and place it over when you get it just right. And then basically what you want to do is just play around with the blending modes. So go ahead and you might need to rasterize this. Let me see here. Go up to the blending mode. You can play with the different, let's try multiply. That's a good one. And you can actually take that opacity down so it's not 100%. So that is multiply. You could do color burn, linear burn, lighten, screen. So this is just to get you guys used to the different options in here. Play around with the opacity, play around with, you know, the different options and what it looks like. There's some really cool looks and different ways that you can do this. Okay, so that's basically what you're going to do. In the next one, you're going to go File, Place, Embedded, and you're going to place texture. I'm going to do 3 because that's the one I have. It doesn't have to be in a particular order. Hold down the Shift key. You're going to place it over here. So basically, just repeat this for every square that you have, every texture. And where's my layers? Okay, and then go ahead and try different opacities. But see how it kind of changes that a little bit? It's kind of cool. So do that to all 4 with all 4 different textures. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just save it as a PSD file. And then you're going to save it as a JPEG. So after you're done doing the other 2, save it, save this as a PSD file. I'm going to keep the layers. And then go ahead and do a save as. Oops, too quick there. Save as a JPEG. And I didn't finish this fully. I just did the 2 up here. So, okay, and that's all you have to do for that. And submit the JPEG, and you're good. Any questions about that? Easy peasy. All right. What was the question there? Teresa, you had a question about week 3. I'm going to unmute you here. Go ahead. Just to let you know, I have to get off at 7:30. So I have a meeting to go to actually online. So.
Okay. I was just looking at it, and it's the 4 pictures.
Okay.
Oh, what am I doing? The one with the background like that, with the animal, and
okay.
I look at it and it just looks like impossible for me to do.
Do you want to share your screen? Do you have anything to show, or are you just asking about it?
Just asking about it. I started it.
Yeah, like I said, I did a step-by-step demo on that too for that week. I think I don't know if I saved.
I think I watched most of it.
Okay. Did you have a specific question about what you had? Maybe. Problems
just like what? How do you put upload one at a time in a certain order, or just by layer?
So you would just do kind of what I just did, where you're going to create a new document, the size specs that are given, completely new without opening an image yet. So you're going to set up your layout, and then do a file open after you download all the images that you want to do. File open to kind of work on those, select them, and pull them into your document.
Okay.
And composite them together. Kind of how I showed in the lecture.
Oh, I wanted to show you something really quick.
Okay.
Where did I think I opened it. No, not that one. Nope. See, I have them all open because I'm working on all of them.
Okay.
Come on. Wrong one. I know I opened it. I opened it just to show you.
Of course, right?
You probably remember it when you see it. That one.
Okay, I can't see your screen.
Oh. Can you see it now?
Yes. Oh, cool.
That's the one I did last year.
And that was the way you had that in my class?
It was either
I don't think that was in my class, was it?
It was. It might have been Illustrator.
Okay.
Yeah, because I put this one in my portfolio, and I was told that it needed to be totally redone.
Okay.
And I thought it came out great.
I think that's really cool.
And Mary Brito helped me with it too, and she was highly impressed. She's she's the one I look up to.
That's awesome. Good job. So like, yeah, if you can do that, you should be good with this class. You
Okay.
remember everything that you did.
Yeah, it was toward the end of the class, and I was just like, what do I do? Help me, please.
Right. Wow, you have so much going on.
We put it together, and because I didn't know how to place a picture into like a poster frame.
Right.
I couldn't get that concept.
Right. I think that's pretty cool. So I think, yeah, if you can get a chance to listen to the demos, I think you'll be good. I think that will kind of fill in the gaps for you.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna go calmly and work with one at a time.
Right. Like so you're not overwhelmed.
Yeah, because I get scatterbrained, and there's a ton of things I still have on my mind that I have to do in my life, and
Yeah.
my car is not insured anymore, so I can't get around.
Oh, geez. Yeah, life definitely sucks sometimes, and it can suck the energy out of you.
But the benefit is, in the next 4 months, I might have my disability.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I'm fighting for that for 6 years.
Wow. All right. Well, let me know if you have any issues going forward, and I'll, like I said, I'll try to be flexible with you, and we'll get it done.
I appreciate it. I don't want it to sound like I'm making excuses or anything. It's just like,
I understand. Things happen. Life is tough.
Something happens, and it's just like, wow, are you serious right now?
Right.
Not now.
Exactly. All righty. Well, I think that's pretty much a wrap. Unless you have any other questions, we'll kind of end it so you can get started with your stuff.
I think I'm good with questions.
Okay.
And you said Google Drive has a lot of memory?
Yes.
Because this literally will not let me save anything.
It's like a tetrabyte, I think. Yeah.
A tetrabyte?
I believe. I'll have to go back and look. I just know I didn't fill it up yet, so I'll definitely check it out.
This computer in August, and it's already full.
Yeah, it's easy to do when especially with Photoshop stuff. All right, Teresa. Well, I hope you have a wonderful night. Just relax, take a deep breath, and
I will do that.
If you run into any issues, okay?
Okay, I will. And just to let you know, the puppy's doing much better.
Oh, good. And your daughter's baby's good?
Yeah, that was crazy. It was the same. She goes into labor that night, and the dog comes up to her, and he just like flumped in her lap, and we couldn't understand what was going on. She started throwing up. Oh, and I've had to deal with parvo and puppies, like 7 puppies, and it was horrible.
Wow.
But she had all the signs of parvo, and I had to be at the hospital with my daughter, and my husband had to stay here with the dog.
Wow.
So that was a major hectic week.
Yeah, seriously.
But she pulled through.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But yes, my granddaughter is absolutely adorable.
Aw, very cool. Congrats. That's awesome. And hopefully this will be a better week. We have a full moon eclipse tomorrow, so let's get through that.
No, I can't wait.
All right, Teresa, you have a great night.
You too.
Right, let me know if you need anything from me, okay?
I will. Thank you.
All right, good night.
Good night.